The world just reflects your own feelings back at you. Reality is neutral. Reality has no judgments. To a tree, there's no concept of right or wrong or good or bad, right? You're born, you have a whole set of sensory experiences and stimulations and lights and colors and sounds, and then you die.
Yeah.
And how you choose to interpret that is up to you. You do have that choice. So this is what I meant, that happiness is a choice. If you believe it's a choice, then you can start working on it. But you have to believe it's possible. And it is absolutely possible. I was miserable. I'm happy as a clam. And it's not just the money. I got there before the money. There's three legs of the stool to building anything. There's hard work, which is commonly acknowledged and recognized. And then there's the team, the people that you work with, and then of course there's what you choose to work on. It's historically, if you go way back in human history, how hard you worked was probably the most important thing. Like you're cutting down a tree, whether you spend 2 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours on it, you get 2 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours worth of output in terms of logs of wood gathered. So in human history, we were very linear workers. In modern history, we're incredibly leveraged workers. So you can do something and then you create a piece of content and it gets spread over social media and it gets replicated a million times. Or you make an investment and your 1 minute of investment decision-making effort is multiplied by $100,000 because that's what you've allocated. Or you create a piece of code, or you ask someone to go do something else, and then two people are doing what you asked them to do. So because of leverage, the impact of your decisions is far greater in modern society. But we're not evolved for this. We still think in terms of hard work, like, oh, it's going to take 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Well, look at Elon Musk or Warren Buffett. These guys are not working any harder than your corner grocery store owner, or the person like delivering your UPS packages, but they're far more successful. So it is much more about doing the right thing. And then you also have to do it with the right people, because we're very collaborative creatures. So if I had to actually order them, I would say, first, make sure you're doing the right thing. That's the most important. And spend whatever time it takes to develop the judgment and get the feedback and the conviction to make sure you're starting the right thing. But at the same time, don't get locked into analysis paralysis. Very often, the way to figure out the right thing is by doing the wrong thing over and over. So do lots of the wrong things, but iterate. After every time you get it wrong, stop, reflect, take feedback from nature, not from other people, because that's the wrong form of feedback. Take feedback from free markets and from nature, because that's reality. Those are the representatives of reality. And then from there, iterate to the next version, the next version, the next version, keep trying. And then when you figure out the right thing to do, hopefully along the way, you also iterate with people until you find people that you're very impressed with, who are the best of what they do, that have complementary skill sets that you trust and get along with. And then you pick the right people. And then after that, you still have to work super hard, but at least now your hard work is going to be rewarded by having done the right thing. Ask any poor entrepreneur who didn't find product market fit. The most important thing was picking that initial product into the right market at the right time. Afterwards, the hard work was a given. Check that box. You've got to work hard because there's always competition. But it wasn't the hard work that made the thing possible. So even though we all know that who you work with and what you work on and how hard you work are very important, I do create an ordering in that category. And I think what you work on is the most important, followed by who you work with. Otherwise, they'll just rip you off, or you'll lose interest, or you won't get along with them, and it'll be a disaster. And then finally, at the bottom is how hard you work. But that doesn't mean that how hard you work isn't important. It's like a stool that would be missing the third leg. The stool would fall down. Yeah.
How did you get happy before the money?
I started getting older. I just realized like life is short. I'm gonna die. Turn it off.